Hello friends and viewers, welcome back to Dark Souls 3. We're picking up where we left off last time in our Soul level 1 run. Last time we had just beat the Abyss Watchers. Here I'm just beating up this stray demon. It's not a boss, just a mini boss, but I'll sometimes throw these little clips in for you. Anyways, for those of you who didn't tune in last time, what is a Soul level 1 run? Well, you gotta start out as Deprived, that's this level 1 character. You can't level up, and you gotta beat everything. Anyways, let's move right ahead. We're jumping from boss to boss here, just as a refresher. We're not going to be running through the levels, because that's kind of a waste of time. But, while I got you here, if you do want to run through all the levels, and you're doing a Soul level 1 run, and you're having trouble getting past the levels, the key is not to kill anything. Just run. Only kill the things you absolutely have to kill. As Soul level 1, it can be painful to get through some of the NPCs and the various little trash mobs. So I recommend you just power through, run to the next bonfire, light every single bonfire, don't skip any, just so that you always are making slow progress. But anyways, here we are, going into Highlord Wolnir. A little bit of background on him. He was a king of this kingdom of Carthus, who, I guess they conquered a bunch of crap, but I believe he used the powers of the Abyss to do it or something, which is why we wind up in his little abyssal realm here. I actually think the reason he's underneath the Abyss Watchers is that they're making sure he doesn't come back. Anyways, as you can see, we are butt naked. On this guy, you want to have maximum DPS. And boy oh boy did I have some serious DPS. Look at that, 2 hits and you break the chain. If you're not familiar with Highlord Wolnir's little gimmick, you gotta hit these bracelets. Once you break them, it stuns him, shoots him back to the back, and deals like a third of his health in damage to him. He has 3 bracelets, 2 on his left hand, 1 on his right. And you gotta be careful, because he's gonna climb out of this thing, and if you get in that fog, you will probably die. He's being kind of lame right here. Usually he'll stick his right arm out, and you can actually hit it. But right here, he actually gave me a lot of trouble in this run, and I almost died. But of course did not. Also, you'll notice I'm using a slightly different weapon. So this is actually our end game weapon, which is the falchion. Falchion, whatever. The curvy sword thing. The thing the guys use in Aladdin, but somehow different from a scimitar. Anyways, what this weapon is, it's super good. There you go, beat him, easy peasy. This boss is just a cakewalk if you know how to do it. The falchion is a very good weapon. It's one of the highest raw infused power weapons. And that's what we infused it with, raw. The reason you use raw instead of fire or deep or anything like that is because you can buff raw weapons with the elemental buffs, either in the form of resins, which will give you fire or whatnot, or pyromancy, which you saw I did there. Actually using the Carthus Flame Arc Pyromancy, which somehow you can use on Soul level 1. It's super important. I recommend you all get it. It's somewhere, it's before Wolnir, it's kind of in his level. You can find it, just look it up. Very helpful pyromancy, saves you some money. Not that you need to save money on the Soul level 1 run. Basically, you're flush with cash the whole entire run because you're not actually leveling up. So I encourage you, buy all the items and weapons and gear that you want. Just go ham, because otherwise you're going to lose that money, or all those sweet, sweet souls you earned when you inevitably die to a random trash mob, a skeleton who comes up behind you and backstabs you and literally one-shots you because you're that weak. Anyway, huzzah. So Highlord Wolnir, didn't die at all on him. I was butt naked, used the falchion, the Grasscrest shield, and the Flynn's ring. The Carthus milk ring gives you +3 dexterity, and it's the reason why when I roll, I kind of go invisible. So you need to wear that in order to use the falchion because it requires 13 dexterity, and you start with 10. Anyways, here's Yhorm the Giant. I'll pause for this little cutscene. I love this cutscene.
Yhorm, old friend. I, Seaford of the Knights of Catarina, have come to uphold my promise. Let the sun shine upon this Lord of Cinder.
Oh, Ziggy Zig. Gets me every time. Alright, so Yhorm is a gimmick boss. Totally a gimmick boss. Doing it in Soul Level 1 is literally no different than doing it normally, with the one exception being you have almost no health, and apparently he just decided to chase me, which is very unusual. Usually he attacks Sigurd. I almost died right there. It would have been embarrassing. So yeah, you gotta get the Storm Ruler, which is over there by the chair, and then you gotta equip it. By the way, make sure your equipment load is low enough that you're not gonna be fat rolling. So, which is why I'm in the Pope gear here. Just wanted to make sure I wouldn't get fat rolls. Anyways, then you hold down, oh, I got hit there, that's embarrassing. You hold down L1 or whatever, the big bumper on the back, the special charge move, until it boom, like that, where the wind kind of starts to envelop your weapon. And then when you want, you can just do an attack, and it will shoot out that sort of wind slice thing, and that deals a ridiculous amount of damage to you. If you're having trouble with Yhorm, just in general, the trick is you need to headshot him. Otherwise, he'll just like get right back up and hit you. I think I missed a headshot. No, I did headshot him there. With Sigurd, it's a lot easier. It's the only fight in the game where a NPC who is not a summoned NPC will come and help you. So, kind of interesting. Okay, this fight, if I recall correctly... Oh, man. Got him. Sometimes Sigurd will carry the fight here, by the way, and he'll just do all the work for you. But in this game, in this one, if I'm not mistaken, I got really close to dying. See, Sigurd did an attack right there, but didn't land for some reason. And oh my god, thank goodness I had the Lloyd's shield ring on, because that was a definite death right there otherwise. Sigurd keeps missing, look at that. Oh, got him. But this was the most epic end ever. I realized, oh my god, he's not dead somehow, and I was able to parry him. See? Or to riposte him. What an epic ending. I've never had that happen before, where I got to riposte him at the very end. Bully for us. Thanks a lot, Sigurd. You're the best. Let's go talk to him. Let's see where he is. Oh, he's over there. I think he can actually die during the fight, which kind of sucks.
It seems I am in your debt once again.
That is accurate, sir.
My thanks. I could have not kept my promise without you. Now, for a final toast.
Thanks for the booze.
To your valor, and my old friend Yhorm. Long may the sun shine.
Long may the sun shine. Thanks, Ziggy Zig. Let's toast him. Let's do it. Let's go find it. So if you're playing this game and you're like, hey, how the heck did you get Sigurd to come help you? Getting him to be able to help you with this is actually a really complicated quest line that involves helping him fight the demon in the undead settlement, and then rescuing him from a well, which requires you to find patches.
I'm going to have myself a little nap. The only thing to do, really, after a nice toast. You are a true friend. Best of luck with your duty.
Anyways, it's super complicated. But hey, there we are with our BFF Sigurd. We were in the Pope set and all those rings. We didn't need the Carthus Milk ring, but, you know, whatever. All right, now on to the serious boss. This is when it gets real hard. This is the Dancer of the Boreal Valley. You can actually fight this boss right after Vort, and technically you can fight him before Vort, but I highly recommend doing it later, and that was a miss. But in order to fight her prematurely, you have to murder this random old lady. Take her vow of basin, or basin of vows, and go walk over there. Oh, so ominous. The door is closing behind me. Ooh. The Dancer of the Boreal Valley. This fight is just... So I died, as is implied by me walking in there, and there's my souls. But anyways, the Dancer fight is very heavily RNG dependent. she takes one of two forms, basically. She is either fairly passive, like right now, where she's just kind of walking around doing this grab. By the way, if you could grab like that, you will die. Or she is super duper aggressive and will just go nuts the second you walk in. But wow, we just tore through her. That was actually the most insane dancer opening I've ever seen. You really want to be super aggressive with her, because going defensively, we will eventually lose. In a soul level 1 especially. But the second phase, she gets really aggressive and does all this swinging and dancing and stuff. I had a really hard time early on with her. Also, you really want to wait till your weapon is as highly upgraded as you can, which I think is +7. Is what you can do before you get to the dancer. I think you can grab 2 Titanite chunks randomly. But I highly recommend you upgrade your weapon. And I used the Karthus Flame Arc there, as you can see. This was actually the most nuts dancer kill I've had in a really long time. That was, what was that, like 2 minutes tops? That was insane. I was very proud of myself after that, especially because the times before I got destroyed over and over again. I forget how many deaths I had. I'm sure I wrote it down here. Let's see. Final death count. 5. Yeah, that's actually pretty good. Anyways, as you can see, we wore just the Pope hat and the Abyss Watcher leggings. Great legs. And we used the falchion with Karthus Flame Arc. All right, now for Osiris. So apologies in advance, by the way, here. The audio that I originally took, which is good because he's kind of making commentary throughout the fight, I was listening to Spotify during it and didn't realize it. So there's a random Home Depot commercial in the middle and one of my songs that I was listening to, which makes it sound really weird, and I didn't realize it till I beat him. So that's why you're hearing this pleasant music over this boss that is actually talking. Just imagine he's talking there. You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, little Ocelot. All right, let's talk about Osiris. So, this boss has 2 phases. Phase 1 is he's walking around with his staff and holding his little baby, who I think used to actually be a visual in the game, but they took it out for child abuse purposes or something. Like, I think they just took it out of the game because it was too controversial. Anyways, he's walking around with his staff. Most of his moves are him smacking the staff and then jumping up in the air or doing the Pestilent Mercury spell, which is that one where like the stuff is on the ground. After you get him about half health, he goes down on the ground and becomes insanely aggressive and super fast. So he'll like be jumping all over. It's actually really hard to hit him sometimes because he'll just leap right across the entire level like that, and you have to run over and get him, and by the time you get here, he will just go back to the other side of the level. But the trick with him, you want to use the lightning resin, by the way. The trick is to kind of get underneath him. If you can get underneath him, he might do this little spin move, and the spin move is what you want, because all you got to do is dodge it, and then you can wail on him before and after he does the spin. Does he do it right here? No, he does. See, when he does the crawl is the worst, because sometimes his tail actually will hit you, and it will one-shot you in the level 1 run. There's a spin. Unfortunately, it was a little hard to see it, but there it is. So you gotta get the timing right, but it's pretty easy after you do that. I had a lot of trouble with Osiris. He's also really annoying because, oh, look at that. That was too close. Watch out for that attack, by the way. It'll curse you, which will insta-kill you. Anyways, I had a lot of trouble with him, and one of the most frustrating parts about this boss is you have to run back pretty significantly. There is a shortcut you can take. Oh my god, I can't believe I didn't die right there. Looks like we had the perfect amount of armor, which is the Pope Skirt. Literally just the Pope Skirt. Thanks, Pope Skirt. Oh my god, we're so close. Oh, nailed it. There you go. Oof, that was a close one. Anyways, that was Osiris. 4 deaths. Used the Pope Skirt and the falchion. You'll notice every single boss in the rest of the game I use the falchion. It's my endgame weapon. Alright, Champion Gundyr. This boss is either almost impossible or hilariously easy. By the way, this one I also have this music in the background. You can kind of hear it, a little smooth jazz. I kept it in because I thought it was funny. You can actually beat this boss without moving, or without, much moving. So the trick here is you got to parry his attacks, and then right here, that attack is what usually kills people, because it's really you cannot dodge that attack, but you can parry it. Hence me being butt naked and literally standing there and becoming a parry god here. Also, if you want to really be very efficient with Gundyr, every time you parry him, which here we go, bam. First hit him once and then do the riposte. That lets you do the max amount of DPS. Anyways, that was hilariously fast. I actually died on this guy a ton because he's actually kind of hard to parry sometimes, and he does this one attack that's a kick that you can't parry and is really, really fast. And against a level whatever character who's fighting him for realsies, it's easy to recover, but for level 1, it will almost kill you. Anyways, 3 deaths. Used the small leather shield, which is a great weapon to parry with, and I was butt naked. Pontiff Sulyvahn. This boss is very hard for some people, but for other people, they forget to turn on the camera. That's right, folks. I did it again. Yeah, my bad. So we're gonna linger a little extra after this and talk about Pontiff. So here's how Pontiff works. First, what you want to do is get the leather shield, the little one that's good for parrying that we just used on Gundyr. Then you want to run up to those staircases right there, and he's gonna jump at you and do this like jumping slash attack. What you want to do is parry it. If you can parry that and then go to town on him, you will destroy him. And then he'll also do this move where he splits into 2 people. Keep wailing on him. Just keep hitting him, and you can literally kill him without getting damaged. It's actually not hard. But if you miss that first parry, you will die. Enjoy. Boss number 12, Aldritch the Devourer. Here we go. This guy's they call him Aldritch because, well, he's a real pain in the ass. And he is the hardest boss to run back to. It's so annoying to have to keep running back to him. Go all the way up the stairs and jump down and do all that. So the trick with Baldridge here, by the way, be super aggressive. Just like always be hitting him. And don't worry about your health, you're not going to die. But you need to get to him when he spawns fast. Otherwise, he'll shoot some magic at you, and the magic is very hard to dodge. That attack right there is the one you really want. This guy's also annoying because that fire does little damage to you. It's not going to kill you, but it will remove that the weapon attack buff that you had on because of the Lloyd's sword ring. Oh god, this move's the worst. Okay, when he does the arrow when he's in the fire form, it will track you, and it's got really good tracking. So the key is to just kind of run around in a circle until it goes away. I don't know how I didn't die right there. I should have died. I got lucky. Alright, there's the lucky attack right there. There's your opening, and then you just go ham. And then rinse and repeat. He's very straightforward. He's just... I've actually never seen him do that move before. I usually kill him too fast in that. By the way, that move right there heals him, as you can tell, and is just a... So, by the way, the reason you'll notice I did Osiris and Dancer first instead of this guy first is because this guy is way easier if you have a fully upgraded weapon. So I recommend, if you can beat the Dancer and Osiris, to do that first, because that's how you get the Titanite shards and chunks and the last ring that we're going to be using in the game, which is the Prisoner's Chain. Oh my god, this guy, that move is so annoying because it keeps him alive. Alright, I think I have him here. I think I do. Anyways, the Prisoner's Chain is the ring you get from transposing Gundyr's soul. And the nice thing about that is it raises your maximum health, which you'll notice is a little higher. It raises your maximum stamina, which you'll notice is way higher. And it raises the amount of equipment you can carry. All of this is really good because you can't normally do that. This little cutscene here is what normally would transport you to the Dancer, and then that's when the boss spawns. But we skipped it. Anyways, the Prisoner's Ring is an absolutely essential ring for this run. We'll talk a little bit more about it in a bit. Yeah, but right now, if you did the game progressing normally, you would fight the Dancer. Again, strongly recommend fight the Dancer first, kill Osiris, kill Gundyr. They're all doable if you could just kind of put the patience in. I died 3 times on Aldritch. He was really frustrating. But I used the Prisoner's Chain, which is right there on the left on the rings. So let's talk a little bit about the weapons and the equipment I used. The raw falchion, it has super high raw damage. It's great. It's my late game weapon. We will literally be using it the rest of the game. Also has good reach and nice attack damage. It's very nice. It takes a long time to farm, though. I'll just tell you that. Prisoner's Chain. This is what I was just talking about. There is a downside to it. It increases your HP, your stamina, and your equipment load, but you take 25% more damage. But that doesn't really matter because you kind of get one shot no matter what anyway. And if you have Lloyd's Shield Ring, that mitigates that. So totally worth the drawback, especially if you wear armor. Also, we were using the Pyromancer's Flame with the Karthus Flame Arc, and the Flash Sweat, which will become handy later on the fire bosses. We actually didn't use this in this episode, but the magic weapon with the Sorcerer's Staff is a great little buff. Buffs your weapon with magic, useful on the Dragon Slayer armor. Anyways, I hope you stay tuned for next time, but until then, enjoy yourself, and I encourage you to join along at home. This has been a really fun run, and I hope you'll stay tuned. See you next time.
Caged Badger.